Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all tuning into the mystery radio station of the Hendrick's Dead Boy Roadshow. And today we've got Mr Hudson, Dazzy Castle, and you can see after the nuclear war what the fuck's happened to this automobile what we've got. And everything's been destroyed apart from us. And he's just now going to read out my funeral speech.
Okay.
Ready?
Garden Avenue.
Garden Avenue.
I used to live on a residential street in the Hallam Fields area of Ilkeston. My old man had bought a detached house in 1955 for £3,000 on Garden Avenue, which was then an unadopted road full of potholes with a nursery located opposite number 25, which was our gaff. 2 years later, Nigel Hudson was born. That's me.
Everything okay, sir?
Everything okay, sir?
Keep saying every 5 minutes or more.
It's all okay here, sir?
Everything's okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, carry on.
Imagine my surprise 12 years afterwards when two new houses were built opposite ours, the first to be built since the original development. These were occupied by the Wagstaffs and Dead Boy Hendricks. The equilibrium of normal life around these parts would never be the same again.
Have you seen his t-shirt? Look. Big cunt there, Mr Wagstaff. Big cunt.
Big sir.
Mr Wagstaff. Carry on.
I attended the Hallam Fields Junior School just up the road on Longfield Lane. In those days, buses used to travel past the school. There is a jitty running down the side of the school, which at the time had a fence separating it from the sanatorium, now a distant memory. It wasn't long before Hendricks got caught spray painting many of his trademark genitalia on the fence, only to be rewarded for his efforts with having to wash and scrub it clean.
Yeah, cop prints, bell end prints, sir.
Dead Boy's right-handed neighbour, Mr Draper, he was a keen gardener in arguably the grandest house on the avenue. I believe he used to be a solicitor, but he was at a loss when discovering one day that most of his tomatoes had been gem-marked with swastikas.
Everything's okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Everything's okay.
Present
Fire at
incorrect.
will.
However, this did not deter my own neighbour, Mrs Booth, from trusting Hendricks with looking after her daughter's budgerigars whilst they were on holiday. I can remember coming home from senior school one afternoon and noticing that Hendricks and some friends were sitting on his front lawn on a variety of soft furniture from his house. On another occasion, he had moved his dad's musical instrument equipment to the same location, and he began to play the guitar at full volume, playing guitar solos which could be heard in neighbouring streets. Mr Hendricks, that's his father, he had played guitar in the Ilkeston Co-op band.
Is everything okay up there, sir?
Everything's okay, sir?
Silence in
Right.
court.
Indeed,
Everything's okay, sir?
Indeed, my other next door neighbour, Doreen Topless, whose husband ran the butcher's shop on Market Street, had come out of her house to find out what was going on. When she saw me, she smiled when hearing Hendricks repeatedly making loud announcements about the size of his bell end and other profanities. Danger UXB. Colin Hampton, a lifelong friend, used to live on Little Hallam Lane, and his back garden backed onto the nursery, which is now Hermitage Walk. As Hendricks's house also backed onto it from our street, this would provide the perfect opportunity for him to ignite a homemade bomb on Sunday morning. Imagine,
Sugar and weed killer.
Is everything okay, sir?
Everything's okay, sir.
Okay, kid.
Everything's okay, sir.
Present and correct.
imagine Colin's surprise then when he was awoken by a mini explosion, causing him to think the world had come to an end.
Next page.
This is called Bubba Brown and Shagstaff. Dead Boy often used to break into his left-handed neighbour's house to shag Shirley Wagstaff,
I took Shirley Wagstaff.
after which he would jump back out of the window to avoid her parents. This would have more significance when I was walking back home one evening with two of my friends, Mark Boltby and Stephen Briggs,
Is
who,
everything okay, sir?
Everything's okay, sir.
further down the right of Hendricks were several houses occupied by Mr Good Evans, it's Evans, who was a former scoutmaster, and the Hawcroft schoolteacher, Mr Brown. Hendricks, who had proudly attended the school next to his, had given Mr Brown legendary status by nicknaming him Bummer Brown and his bum covered,
Bummer Brown.
Yes, Bummer Brown, BBC.
a phrase he would often shout when passing his house. Anyway,
All correct.
Present and correct, sir.
Eric's okay, sir.
Everything's okay, sir.
as the three of us approached Mr Brown's grass verge, we used our flick knives to chop off the heads of some of his tulips. Later on, when Mr Brown had discovered the damage, he immediately marched down to Hendrick's gaff, thinking he was the culprit. As he approached the driveway, Hendricks and Shagstaff were exposing their genitals and bellowed at him to fuck off out, as it was downright rude for him to be looking at other people's private parts.
Everything okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
And there is a picture associated with this, which is Hendricks's house as it looks now. And at one time, Hendricks, he was known as Paul at the time, had carved Paulus in the curbstones of the street.
Shameful.
Call
Next
the fire
page.
brigade.
The fire brigade's coming!
One afternoon, whilst I was still at school, Hendricks and his mate Chris Woolley
Bummer Wally.
decided to explore the back of my house, which had a basement underneath the garage. In the photo below, which you obviously can't see, was our back garden, which is a few steps down from the drive. The Booth's budgerigars shed is located on the right of the path from their greenhouse. Anyway, they started a fire in the basement, and I believe Chris Woolley scarpered. Meanwhile, Hendricks knocked at our door and asked my mum for a bucket of water, which he used to extinguish the fire. Meanwhile, neighbour Judith Topless had called the fire brigade, who was surprised to find that there was no fire to put out. When my dad came back from work and had discovered what had happened, he marched across the road to Hendricks's house to no doubt make a scene. It seemed ages before he returned, but when my mum asked him what had happened, all they could talk about was how nice and modern Hendricks's house was. Rape alert!
Rape alert!
Rape alert!
Cockapee Valley rapist! Rape alert!
Rapist!
Rape alert!
Rape alert!
Rape alert!
Down Longfield Lane,
sir.
Fine, Ken.
down Longfield Lane at the top of our street, on the right-hand side, there was an area known as Top Fields, which comprised several large fields bordered by trees and bushes, separating existing housing from Stanton Ironworks. This was a popular place for walking dogs and general larking about for teenagers, though nowadays it's a big wimpy estate. One night, the police were alerted by residents of the lane as they had heard cries of rape from the area. This was treated as a priority incident, and a special police dog unit from Matlock had arrived within the hour.
Bastard coppers! Bastard coppers!
Suffice to say that the local Nick had already worked out that this was a prank and immediately called in at nearby Hendricks's to attempt an arrest. Such was his past reputation.
You have to come down a bit, cameraman. You cover your face. And this, look. Big cunt there, Mr. Wagstaff. Big cunt. The cameraman wants to see this, Ken. So you look a cunt. Okay, carry on.
Present and correct.
On another night, Hendricks had removed half a dozen wrought iron gates from properties on King's Way and hid them in Top Fields. Ho, ho, ho.
Everything okay, sir?
Everything's okay, sir.
Now known as the Magic Wok, this takeaway Chinese had been around for ages, but back in the day, myself and a few others were walking up Nottingham Road with Hendricks a few days before bonfire night. In those days, kids could easily buy tons of fireworks from almost anywhere. As we approached Oh-Ho's, Hendricks decided to stick 2 bangers in the outside ventilation fan. Then when Ho-Ho went into the kitchen, the bangers were lit and we ran like Billy-O. They soon ignited, but within seconds, Ho-Ho ran out of the shop at speed carrying a meat cleaver. We managed to disappear somewhere in the darkness of Gallazin playing fields. Possibly on the same night, we had entered into Trowell and crossed the railway bridge. Hendricks and others then spotted some sleepers next to the railway line. They managed to lift one up and carry it up onto the bridge.
Look, got scars on my thumb still, look. Ooh.
At this point, we knew what was going to happen, and when a freight train was approaching, decided to run quickly from the scene. Hendricks then pushed the sleeper over the bridge and it landed on one of the trucks. The train was stopped not long after.
Hit the God's one wagon, Ken.
Hendricks attended art school at Derby College and would often be seen walking around Ilkeston carrying a tin of black paint with a hole in it. He also painted his penis black one time and submitted its impression on paper for his homework. In later life, Hendricks, Ken nowadays,
Morning, Ken.
is known for his window cleaning, which he has been doing for most of his adult life. However, this did not stop him from taking the ladder away from some poor bastard who was working on a roof. His bus behaviour is legendary. My cousin, who lives in Alresford, would regularly catch the bus, and he would sit next to her and start screaming and handing out bumming photographs to people. On another bus journey, he was handing out photos to passengers of his girlfriend who had a guitar lead plugged to her vagina, including my mates Colin and Alan Syson. Rob Brooks, who happened to be sitting next to his mum at the time, became even more embarrassed when one of Hendrick's mates enthusiastically asked if they were going to do some cunt-licking photographs later that day. I used to frequent the Poplar Inn when I was about 16, and Hendricks would sometimes appear and pull out labels he had hidden in some of the framed pictures, with interesting things written on them, such as shit on bog seat or Japanese pieces of shit. And of course, there was that party he attended where the interior of the house got ruined, mainly due to Hendricks using ornamental swords to rip up carpets and soft furnishing.
And opened 81 tins of fruit and veg. It was called the Sliced Pierce and Party. Sliced Pierce and Party, piss party. Come on, Ken.
The bloke who...
Oh, yeah, was in a bad mood, Ken.
the bloke who owned the house was a bit of an Ilson mafia type, and so Hendricks's card was then marked. I believe Hendricks emigrated to Nottingham for quite a few years, where his window cleaning partnership would then blossom.
Boom.
Sorry, sir.
That's the end of the story. And don't be late, all of you out there attending this funeral, and I'll see you all in the next world. Okay? Don't be too late.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. See you in the next world. You can watch. No cameras, Ken.
Okay.
Morning, Ken. Morning, Willard. Morning, we're behaving. I've already got it.
Yeah, could you just use this camera? Do you want to use this one?
Right, are we all ready for the start?
Yeah, we're starting.
Tell that guy, because I'm trying to tell him.
Come here, down here, listen. Look, I'm not fooling out. This is a secret. Look, I don't want it because they'll know.
There's nothing wrong with that, mate.
You can watch. You're a good lad, I know you.
Why are you recording? This is our private session. He just saw it. Did you see him record?
No, you couldn't.
Did you see him record?
He's got a right to record if he wants. It's free speech, but I know this guy. He's a good man. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah, no. See, this is for a film for a record company. I don't want it all over Ilkin's Facebook, all that shit. So I'll be in trouble, and he'll be in trouble, and that. This is going over. Right. This is going over to Japan and America, right? And on my record label, right? Over there, love it. Nobody knows. You ready? Look at this lot.
Come on, let's crack on then.
Take the fucking lot off then. What? No.
I'm going to...
No.
Right,
Hey,
bit
thanks for
quick.
this, mate. I'll explain to all about it in a bit.
Quick.
Down on the floor, right down on the floor.
ready?
Ready,
yeah.
Right?
Ready, go.
Come on. Get down, boy. Down.
Don't
Down.
get down any fucking more.
Right, okay. Fuck me. Never a good fucking other way. Right. Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Do you need to go to the toilet, anybody? No. Right. This is the Hendrick's Dead Boy Roadshow on a Saturday afternoon in a place called Ilson. Now, after the nuclear war, can you see what's happened to my automobile? This is Ian Brady car, what belongs to Dazzy Castle.
Boom. Hi, folks.
Right, this is what happened after the nuclear war. Look at the fucking thing. Not much left. Right. What do you say? Now we're going to go back in time because everything's been destroyed after the nuclear war, as you can see. Plus the car's faded. Look at the pink's faded. And everything on YouTube and our films we made has been destroyed. What do you say?
Yeah, it's a bad job, Ken.
They fucking Russians bastards. And they-
Blew it, yeah. Took it
Right.
all out.
What do you say?
Deleted from YouTube forever.
We've lost everything what we had. Now, we're going to go back in time with Mr Dazzy Russell. When I first met him, now,
Is everything okay, sir?
yes, it is Dwarf Shagger. Eric's okay down there. Are you okay, Ken?
Is everything okay from down there?
Yeah, Eric's okay up there. Sir, are you okay there? Red shit. Okay, roll.
Everything okay, sir?
Yes, Ken, let's commence. Right. Now, the first time I met Mr Dazzy Castle, well,
We was on
actually,
Boswell Road and he was washing some windows.
with a devil's gyro, and a devil's gyro, which is a Ouija board. You remember?
Yeah. And I said, what's happening, Ken?
What's happening, Kent? Now, I was on my way to Nottingham to deliver this devil's gyro to Chris Bailey, who had a tattoo parlour called Bodycraft. Remember, Ken?
Present and correct, then.
Yes, it was big. It was a big Ouija board, actually. Very good. You remember, Ken?
Yes, Ken.
And you thought, what the fuck's going on, brother? That's when I first met him. Now, this is after the nuclear war. Now, I went into Nottingham and actually did this to Bodycraft and put it on the wall. He did. He paid me about 30 quid for the devil's gyro. Now, can you remember Crazy Jane who glassed me and all the back?
Remember her well?
Yeah. But everything okay, sir?
Everything's okay, sir.
Right. She decided to go into Bodycraft and have the devil's gyro tattooed above her tits. Now, I went,
Above her tits.
yes, and I went into actually the tattoo shop when she was having it done, and the tattooist said, "What are you going to do with this then, Mr Hendrick? Raise the dead?" Raise the dead. I said, "Yes, Ken." Right, that was the devil's gyro. From this day now, at Bodycraft in Ockley, the devil's gyro is on Bodycraft's actual wall. Remember that? Now, chin chin. No. Ding dong. That's when we first met, right? You remember?
Yes.
He pulled up in his car and with his camera says, "What's going on, brother?" Now, let's commence what happens from then. Should we change positions?
Yes, why not?
Why not? Hang on.
Let's move around.
Right, after the nuclear war, you can see it's a bit faded after it. Now, all these actual, what should we say, videos and films, what Dazzy Castle made, have been destroyed after the nuclear war.
Is everything okay, sir?
Then, after this, we commenced with the Ilkeston Nazi. Can you remember that one?
The
Ken?
Nazi League, yes, sir.
Yeah, it made me the Ilkeston Nazi of it. Well, the Ilkeston Nazi of Ilkeston, was it?
Yes.
Right, running around Ilkeston, right, with no clothes on, with a German helmet on, and another person followed me with a cunt sign. Remember that
Correct,
one,
sir.
Ken?
Yes, I can remember it well.
And went into that pub up there, Kim and Witherspoon's being escorted to that board, marketing all these other pubs and look there, yeah, they blah, 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 blah.
Barred on contact.
Yeah, that's correct. Now, I'm going to hand you over now to speak to the cameraman there about what your thoughts is, because I've got a lot in my mind. Now, I want you to speak now. What
Remember
commenced
very
afterwards?
well. We went down to Sexy Specs at bottom of Bath Street.
Oh, that big horse, Mary.
We took a
Everything
horse
okay,
in
sir?
there, a short-sighted horse.
I put us some contact
They got
lenses.
him fitted with some glasses. On another occasion, Edmund was on the roundabout playing his song, and the police arrested him on site and carted him off to Ripley Police Station with his co-accused. And there were good times, there were sad times, but now, the mad times, and this man's back. And remember this at his funeral, there's no finer man than Kenneth Hendricks.
Yeah, but you created the word morning Ken
Morning, Ken!
on the actual internet, and then now we've got transmitters in Ilkeston who've seen them noted around,
Transmitting it, Ken.
which are beaming it into these outsiding people or local people to go into their minds what says the word morning Ken. Now, if you come,
Subliminal.
yes, most people, this bloke walking his dog now, he might say,
Nuclear fallout.
he could say the word morning Ken now if it's being dim. Are you walking this way? Are you going to say the morning Ken?
Morning, Ken.
Yeah, he said, oh, I see the word.
Morning, Ken.
He said, look, cameraman, kick the table there. He just said the word morning Ken. He's stolen, aren't you? You're a Kestonian.
Ken, you're drawing a crowd, sir.
Yeah, we're not going to get too popular.
Right.
Right, okay, Ken. He said morning Ken.
I'm saying goodbye, Ken. Lovely to see you. I'm off on my travels. Let me know for the next
You
recording.
made me famous, Ken, the word morning Ken.
Morning, Ken.
But Ken, listen,
You know,
before you leave, can you remember
I remember.
on the Stanton coal truck playing the guitar in the nude at rush hour traffic?
That's the one, Ken, yeah.
That made me famous. Are you going now, Ken?
I'm going to shoot off. Great to see you, boys. See you
thanks
again.
very much.
Send me the edit.
Ken,
I'll see you, brother.
this never happened.
take care, mate.
How do you play it back? How do you play it back?
Oh, so recording. Yeah. There we are.
How do you play it back? Is that alright? I've pressed the button.
Yeah, I could press the button. Okay. And see what we got on that last shot.
So obviously this is the bit before.
Yeah. There we go.
But is that alright? One sec.